Go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Accessibility Podcast. We're here with Mr. Frank Liano. He's the Operation Manager for Project Amistad. We'll be discussing today the transfer of services of the after-hour service from the Lyft to Sun Metro, or from Sun Metro to the Project Amistad. Just gonna give a quick intro. How you doing, Mr. Liano? Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
My name's Frank Liano. I've worked for Project Amistad for the last year and a couple of months. Longtime member of El Paso. Family is born and raised here. Spent a couple years in the Marine Corps. Last 14, 15 years in the Army Reserve. And here I am.
Thank you for your services, first of all. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Well, we're going to talk about the transfer of service. Mr. Liano can explain how that can work. It's effective today, right, sir?
Right, correct.
Can you go ahead and give some more detail on that?
Well, it's called the after-hours service, but really what it is the transfer of funding from the grant, the 5310 FTA grant. And what that grant is, it is used for a lot of different reasons, but for mostly it's to provide or close gaps in services in transportation and other needs.
Okay. So basically, if someone's going to use a service at night, they will call you, Project Amistad?
Right now the way it works is that people call Project Amistad at 915-532-3415, and they can schedule a ride. If they're a Sun Metro Lyft rider right now, they can continue to use our services without interruptions, but they will be required to recertify under 5310 guidelines for the new, well, it's not new service, but it's the new funding source.
Okay. So basically, the new funding is what's meant after hours. So basically, if you're a Lyft passenger, you have to qualify under the 5310, correct, sir?
Correct.
Okay. And what's the hours of operation?
The hours of operation right now, like I said, the way it's been working right now through Sun Metro and through the other provider that provides the after hours, anything that's classified as after hours is from 11 o'clock until 4 o'clock.
Okay. But they should call before to make the reservations, right?
They have to call 48 hours in advance to make the reservation, and the hours of service for to call in is between 8 o'clock and 4 p.m.
Can you go repeat that number one more time?
915-532-3415.
Okay. So basically, they have to, just to clarify, they have to call 2 days in advance.
2 days in advance,
Okay.
correct?
And then they use, right now, they'll use their Lyft number, or how do they, the Lyft ID number, or?
Yes, what we're doing is we're taking the Lyft ID number and we're working closely with Sun Metro. Sun Metro has provided us a list of the after-hours riders, so we know that they're certified through Sun Metro. But like I said, under the way the grant was written to provide these services, they will have to recertify.
So basically, it's just also, I forgot to mention the funding, like Mr. Liano was saying. So basically, you're the fiscal manager, and Sun City is the operator, is the provider.
No, what it is we're the fiscal agent for the funding source,
Okay.
which is the 5310 grant under 2016 application guidelines.
Okay.
So the actual money is provided through the MPO,
Okay.
the Metropolitan Planning Organization. They get that money through the FTA.
Okay. So now that we're talking about money, so the fee the fee is still the same, $2.50.
The fee is the same, exactly, $2.50. And just to put a bit of perspective, put it in perspective, the 5310 grant funding was initially created to provide services, not only transportation, but also, we don't do this, but if somebody wanted to build access to a bus stop or a bus terminal, they could apply for that grant and get that funding source. But the 5310 grant was created for the elderly and the disabled.
Okay.
And when I say elderly, they have recognized the age of 65 as elderly.
Okay. before I forget now, for the Lyft user, they're used to using the ticket. The ticket's not valid, right?
No, the tickets are not valid. If you gotta consider the fact that there's two different entities.
Okay.
Sun Metro Lyft had Sun Metro had the capability and the accessibility to print and create those tickets. We cannot take them because we cannot cash them for the value that they're worth through Sun Metro.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. Now, if someone has a complaint or a compliment and they want to call Project Amistad, is there a number they could call in regards to that?
You can call Sun Metro. No, not really.
Right?
Yeah, no. You call Project Amistad 915-532-3415. The same number,
Okay.
and just tell them that you want to register a complaint.
Okay. And now, just to let everyone know that's watching that they're going to be at the mayor's meeting next Thursday, February the 9th. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and go to that meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it'll be at City Hall, second floor from 1 to 2:30, and Project Amistad will be there to answer any questions. Anything you want to end, any kind of comments or anything that you want the writer to know?
It's just to keep in mind that the funding, as we know it through the federal system, has been dwindling. All the funding, all the grant sources have been being reduced because of the availability of funds. So with the funding source that we have right now, if we continue with the route that we're going right now, these monies that were supposed to last until September will be totally used on maybe at the end of April, maybe through May. So we're asking a lot of the riders or the people who use 5310 after hour service, if let's say dialysis, the lift operates at a certain schedule. If you can utilize the lift during their operation hours, which would require you making appointments, with your provider, say between 8 and 5.
Okay.
We can try to provide the transportation services to a lot more people by not utilizing all that funding for stuff that can be used for trips that can be used during normal regular hours.
So basically, so just to make sure that we understand that the funding is there, but it's limited. So Project Amistad is asking if we could make more accommodations regarding transportation to do so. To kind of reserve that funding to keep it, until September.
And we're trying to get it. We're trying to make sure that it lasts until September. Okay. But like I said, the way that the funding source is going right now, with the total number of trips from the county and after hours, if we continue this route, we'll be out of money in April, May.
Wow, that's kind of concerning. Okay, sir. Well, if I appreciate everyone tuning in to this edition of the Accessibility Podcast. You have any questions, concerns, go ahead and come to the meeting next Thursday, which will be February the 9th. And will you be there or will be someone else?
I'll be there.
And Mr. Frank Liano will be there. And he said he likes Chico's Tacos. All right.
I like Chico's Tacos, but I was going to say I can give you my email address, so in case anybody calls and they can't get a hold of me, I always have my cell phone with me. I get my emails to my phone. And if somebody wants to voice a concern, if somebody wants to voice a compliment, because we don't, not only do we take complaints, we take compliments. And I do take feedback. I mean, we're not here just to drive buses. We're here to provide a service to our community.
Do you want to provide that information?
Yeah, it's F as in Frank, Liano, Liano, at projectamistad.org.
Okay.
And it's like we tell the communities, we're not a transportation company. We're a people company, or we're here. We're a person agency. We're just real good at providing transportation.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
So we just appreciate the opportunity to close the gap, and for people who need the service, we appreciate the opportunity to enrich the life of people and bring them closer to our community, so our community is one.
Because one of the biggest components to someone with a disability is transportation. Because that allows us to go to the doctor, the store. So that's very vital.
To the movies.
To the movies, entertainment.
Yeah.
So again, very important. If you have a compliment or concern or anything you want to reach out to Mr. Liano, is F like in Frank, Liano, which is L like in Lima, IANO, at projectamistad.org. And if you, again, want to talk to him personally, he'll be next week at the mayor's meeting. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Mr. Lasam, for taking the time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yes, thank you.